looking to become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment, well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, the principles of balanced leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
Now it's time for the show.
Do this look like work to you? Nah, looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here, all of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah, all of this for me. Bottles over here, all of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. Light fast, lights flash, all of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. All of this for me, for me. Bottles bringing bottles out, all of this for me, for me. You for real?
Hello, and welcome in to another edition of The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1, Facebook.com/Andrew.Romanella, either one. I am Andrew Romanella. This is Rocky Romanella.
What's going on?
It's The Rome Show on February 10th. It's 7:02 here at Hamilton Radio. We want you to know that you can get on the show all the way up until the 8 o'clock hour. Dial in at 609-807-2492. We got our producer, Ruben, on the phone lines. You can get us on the Twitter as well, at Wide World of Rome. Before we get started here, though, Rock, I have to admit to the people that I didn't put polls up on Sunday, and I failed them this week.
And right meow, the people are pretty pissed at
Did you just say meow?
Am I saying meow?
Do I look like a cat? Am I jumping all mimbly bimbly? All right, we're not going to go off the rails that early. But in the place of the Romo Sapiens getting their voice on the show, we are... And hey, Rube, real quick, can you turn on my headphones? Ooh.
Andrew's having trouble hearing you right now.
Well, in the place of the Romo...
What happened, John?
Can I get the headphones on?
Oh, they are on. Oh, hold on a second.
Oh,
Let me just
there
turn you
we
up.
go. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay, I'm back. I'm in. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry about that. I
I might have
apologize.
silenced you on purpose. I had
He didn't want to listen. So we're gonna have a hockey segment, much to Rocky's excitement.
Yes.
So 609-807-2492 if you want to get in on the conversation. Facebook.com, wherever you get your Rome Show. All right, here's the deal. Straight off the Rome today. Super cool, super exciting. We had our baseball dinner this weekend, all right? And we had the opportunity to have Tom Verducci come and be our keynote speaker. And what was really cool about having Tom come to the baseball dinner was not only the fact that he's a two-time Emmy award-winning producer and he has so many accolades. He writes for Sports Illustrated. He covers the World Series on Fox, all of those things, right? But he also happened to have a conversation with the one A.J. Hinch that aired the night before our dinner, which I thought was super cool because I'm riding in to work today and I'm riding home from work today and I'm listening to ESPN Radio talk about Tom Verducci interviewing A.J. Hinch, and I'm like, that's crazy because I was just shaking Tom Verducci's hand on Saturday.
I know, that guy's got one. He's got a nice resume.
He does. So it's twofold here, okay? The first fold of the conversation is that him speaking to our players was awesome. You know, at first, I was a little, not taken back, but I didn't feel like he was as personable as I believed he was going to be. Now, Q is a really good friend of Tom's son. I'm a good friend of Tom's son. I worked with him for a little bit. He went to Q's wedding. So that was how we were able to get Tom Verducci to come speak at the dinner. And he's a great dude, great dude. But before the speech, he seemed a little, introverted is the word that we were using. Well, when he got on the mic, and naturally, because he's an Emmy award-winning, sports anchor and all this other stuff, he was phenomenal. He told great stories about Roger Clemens, about going out to dinner with Bryce Harper's parents and Bryce Harper when he was 16 years old to write a Sports Illustrated cover story on him, about how Roger Clemens used to think the night before about what trouble he could get into the next day when he had to start, because he believed that if he thought about the trouble and he thought about how to get out of the trouble when the trouble came in the game, because it was going to come at some point, he was able to take that trouble and succeed through it. He talked about how you have to have the humility to prepare, but the confidence to pull it off. I thought that was a great line. You have to be humble. You have to keep preparing like you're not the best, but at the same time, when you step on the field, you got to act and believe and be confident enough that you are the best. So honestly, man, it was awesome. I thought he was super open. It was really, and then after, which I believe is probably his on-deck circle, his process before he gets on television or he goes up for a speech like that, he was open. He was chatting away. He talked to me about how he believes that in 2 years, Major League Baseball is going to be going to an automatic umpire. And he also believes that in that same breath, they're going to have to redefine the strike zone. Because if you look at home plate's three-dimensional, middle, inside, outside. Well, he believes that because of the technology and what they're learning about the system of an automatic umpire is that you're going to have to redefine the strike zone. So I thought that was super interesting. I said to him, hey, Tom, listen, do you think that it should happen? I don't like the idea of it, but it's just where we're going. He said right now umpires get a report immediately upon completion of the game. And he's like, Andrew, man, they have every number. It's like, this is how bad you were, this is how good you were. It's black and white, there's nothing else. So they already know that because of the analytics. So all in all, I found that super cool, and I thought that was a really interesting conversation because he obviously has some inside information, and if he believes that baseball is going to be soon trending towards those automated umpires, I would have to believe, Rock, that that's got to be some close to true information.
No, I love it actually when you have an opportunity to hear from someone like that, and you get first. I mean, you love hearing stories. Like they always have, right? They always have great stories of guys, from the dugout or from the road or when they were in an off-camera setting, not in front of a microphone. And those stories are typically the ones everyone wants to hear, but they're always the best, right? Even when you did the interview with Shane Spencer, like he had some good stories about players in the locker room, what it felt like to be around them, and kind of how those conversations went. So I love hearing that stuff. As for the rule changes, that's part of like whenever I got really into like NHL Network radio, it was to hear about the rule changes and what's coming down and like where the game is going. So when you get to hear someone like that in your particular field, right? So all the baseball players are like, oh, this is what's next. Like, this is what they're talking about behind the scenes, how the game's going to change, how long that, whatever it is, automated umpires, which I just think is stupid. Actually,
I don't like it at all. I agree 100%.
But last night when you told me about Tom Verducci, you were explaining to me the percentages between who was good and who sucked.
Yes, because essentially the other aspect of this whole conversation is because you have the analytics on these umpires, players are taking that information, and when they go prepare for a game, they're not necessarily just preparing for the pitcher that they're going to face. They're going to prepare for the pitcher, the catcher, and the umpire. They're going to figure out what type of strike zone this guy has, where does he call a lot of his strikes, what's he going to give to the hitter, what's he going to give to the pitcher, right? So Tom's point in the whole conversation is, well, if I know that data as a hitter, and Major League Baseball knows that it's an openly different strike zone for each guy because the hitters are literally preparing that way, they have to make a change to that. Because at the end of the day, the three-point line in the NBA doesn't move. The free throw line doesn't move, right? When you shoot from the blue line and score in hockey, or you shoot from right in front of the net, it still counts as one goal, right? There's no changes in any of that. So for baseball, you want the strike zone in their mind to be as close to 100% as possible because that's the way, in its purest form, it's supposed to be. But if you're going to put human error into the game, then my argument back to you is why in football do we have a referee running with the play who's clearly not as fast as the other guys, then spotting the football and then running to the middle of the field and trying to line up with a guy on the exact opposite side of the field? If you're going to make that argument, if that's going to stay, what is the difference between the umpire staying?
So I mean, yeah, I get I'm not going to even comment on your football comment. I mean, the referees are literally just there to spot balls. It's fine. They really have no control. When it comes to the strike zone stuff, human error is the game part of sports. Right? Like, okay, so I know the umpire having a different strike zone, you've played your entire life that way.
Right.
You played Little League that way. You played Pony Ball that way. You played JV that way. Then you played varsity that way. And then, or you just played varsity. You skipped the JV route because you're a stud. That's nice. So you played in college.
Right, yeah. No, you're not wrong.
Why does it have to be a perfect strike zone?
I agree with you.
I don't get why that has to matter.
Because I think it's the technology. That's because everyone believes that since we have technology, you should be able to get it perfect.
No, but that's not the point of the game.
I agree.
That's not why you play. Like you don't. Like, just because you have the stats doesn't mean you need to improve the game. That just means I have a better chance. Like, you still have a better chance of getting a hit today than you did 35 years ago.
True.
So why do you need that strike zone to be perfect? Why wouldn't you want someone on the field? Like, that's classic.
Well, someone still has to stay on the field. See, this is the whole dumb part of it. The umpire still exists. The difference is he's got an earpiece in his head. The ball comes across the strike zone. The umpire in the earpiece says to you, this guy down here, strike, and then you go, strike.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, why can't we just let these guys make the calls? I just don't understand why we need an automated strike zone. It means absolutely nothing to me. You're literally teaching guys who for their entire life has been told, go get hits, hit doubles, hit singles, hit doubles, hit singles, bunt everyone over because your strategy in high school is small ball, right?
Right.
And then you get to the pros and we're like, hey, listen, you were a great hitter your whole entire life. So nice job. Now you're only going to hit home runs.
Right.
Your job is to play heads or tails with the pitcher for anywhere between 3 to 10 pitches and decide which one you're going to guess right on.
Right. And now you change the game, and then you feel like you have to make other improvements to the game to make up for the fact that, there are more strikeouts in the game. That's not because the umpires are back there. That has nothing to do with it. That's because guys are throwing 98 miles per hour, and then they're throwing 85 miles per hour.
Again, the game is... the game is mental. Baseball is a mental game. You are playing a game with your mind all the time.
Yes.
Right? That's it.
Yes. It's mental warfare the whole time.
I mean, you got to be pretty good athletically. Let's be serious.
Yes.
You can't Olay ground balls.
You cannot. No chance. You can't.
I mean...
So, to take that further...
Yeah, I have nothing else to say.
I know. I don't like it either. The last thing I want to get to, and I know we want to talk a little bit about the actual baseball, but the second part of the Tom Verducci thing was the fact that he had this conversation with A.J. Hinch. And the one thing that I noted, and it was a 45-minute conversation, it was a long conversation. The one thing I noted was that when he asked A.J. Hinch if there were buzzers on the Houston Astros, A.J. Hinch just dodged the question.
Because there were buzzers on the Houston Astros.
Right, and I'm of the belief, and I think other people would be of that belief as well, that when you get asked that question, and you know that the truth is we didn't wear buzzers, the first thing you're going to say is absolutely not.
You can't commit either way because if you still want a job.
Right, but if you absolutely know that isn't true.
The theory works the opposite way too.
What do you mean?
Because even if you're right and you didn't cheat, there's still going to be a population that believes you did.
Well, of course, but still, you would still defend why would I lie if I know the truth? And the truth is that we didn't cheat.
He didn't lie. He chose not to answer.
Which omitting the truth is essentially another version of a lie.
False.
Why?
Because You didn't say anything, so there's nothing to lie about.
Yes, because by not saying anything, that therein lies the lie.
False. He did not make a statement. There's nothing to lie. He just he was mute.
609-807-2492 if you disagree or agree with Rocky. Because I think that if you don't, because if you say to me, right, did you steal this from me? And I didn't steal, I'd be, no, dude, absolutely not. But if I did steal,
But
I'd
that's
be,
lying because you said you didn't.
Yeah, but I didn't steal it from you. That's my thing. But if you say, did I steal this from you? I'm like, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't say anything. I don't know. I don't know what you did or didn't do.
I would love to know somebody else's opinion on this. I would absolutely love to know somebody else's opinion on this. But I think you're right in the end of the day. AJ Hinch wants the manager job again. He said that in the interview, and I think that's probably why he doesn't answer it that way. But I think what's going to stink for the Houston Astros players is they're going to have to deal with this year.
Well,
They're going to
yeah,
have to
they
deal with it
shouldn't
from the
have cheated.
media. Yeah, right. They're going to have to deal with it from the other players. And I'm curious going into the season, that pitchers and catchers report this week, like, what's this going to be like for them?
It's not going to be that bad. Baseball's protecting him.
You think so?
Yeah, no one cares anymore.
I disagree with you wholeheartedly.
I don't think anyone cares anymore.
No, that's a complete blatant lie. It's the game of baseball.
I think we've already forgotten.
Pete Rose is not in the Hall of Fame. He has the most hits of all time because he bet on his own team when he was a manager.
I think they're sweeping this under the rug. By the All-Star break, it's not even going to be a story.
I completely disagree with you.
Not even going to be a story.
This is a forever story in Major League Baseball.
Only if they win again.
No, it's a forever story regardless. They already won.
Yeah, but if they win again this year, then it'll win. Well, definitely it'll die.
What's the difference between the 2017 Houston Astros and Mark McGwire?
Mark McGwire was allowed to take steroids because they were not illegal.
Okay, it seems to me like the Houston Astros were allowed to cheat because they were not illegal. Do we still hold that against Mark McGwire?
No. Completely different scenarios.
Why?
Because they got caught cheating.
So-
They were not allowed to do that.
So why is Mark McGwire not in the Hall of Fame then if he was allowed to cheat?
I don't disagree with that
But-
argument. I'm just telling you, I think baseball is going to try and sweep it under the rug, and it won't be a story halfway through the year.
I agree that they're going to try to sweep it, and I think part of that, and I don't know if
You're
you've heard
mad at
this.
me for for telling you that your sport is historical for cheating.
It is historical for cheating. But aren't we learning that all sports are historical for cheating?
No.
Football has plenty of cheating,
Yeah, football, baseball.
right?
I mean, basketball's been cheating forever. I mean, basketball doesn't.
College basketball has been cheating
Basketball
forever.
has never not cheated. Soccer, European, Italian soccer, cheating years. They've got more years cheating than they do playing soccer.
So what is sport really teaching us?
Well, it's a good life
It's
lesson.
competitive edge is what it is. It's competitive edge. How do you feel about this baseball season before we move on?
No cheating in hockey.
There's none. You're right. That's a great point.
And by the way, if you try cheating, you're penalized for 2 minutes.
And you get punched in the face.
Right, Jaromir Jagr, right? His curve was too much.
Oh, that's right.
2-minute penalty.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so therefore, you don't want to cheat.
Yeah, I mean that's like letting Sammy Sosa just sit out an inning when he found the cork bat.
No, yeah. Well, didn't they get kicked out of that game?
Yeah, of course. Anyways, the baseball season is exciting. I think the Mets are going to have a good year.
When you say good year, are we talking about? Oh, well, before we dive into the baseball, because I see we have a caller on the line.
I like it.
I want to get the caller on first.
I'm curious to know which part they're calling about.
Caller, welcome to the Rome Show. Give us your name and what you're calling about.
What's going on, man? My name's Jack. I'm calling from Jersey.
Jackie, what's going on, man? How are you?
What's going on, man?
Thanks.
Listen, AJ, I have just a quick question.
Go ahead.
What is the difference between steroids and what's worse, cheating using steroids or cheating using buzzers? I'll start with that question.
I think cheating using buzzers is worse.
Same. I agree with that too.
Is more cheating than steroids, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So then, if you're thinking about, and I know this is far off, but Altuve's 27 or 28.
Okay.
Now you're thinking of putting this guy in the Hall of Fame. How can you put him in the Hall of Fame rather than Barry Bonds. And I know you guys didn't talk about this, but this is my point going back to the Mark McGwire segment.
I agree with you 100%. See, and I'm of the belief that Barry Bonds should be in the Hall of Fame because of what Rocky said before. It was about the fact that Major League Baseball allowed these players to take steroids to bring Major League Baseball back from the dead. I am of the thought that if a guy like Bonds and a guy like McGwire and again a guy like Pete Rose, who I have openly supported so much, Jack, right? I believe that those guys should be in the Hall of Fame, and I believe that Altuve shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame because to the original question too, right, between steroids and the buzzer, with steroids, I could get jacked and I could be the quickest person on the field, but if I can't hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, I can't time it up, or I can't recognize a curveball, it don't matter how good or how big and strong I am. I can still hit 168, right? But with the buzzer, I could not be on steroids, and because they're throwing 98 and I know it's coming, I could do so much more with that knowledge.
You could be the worst player on the field, and you could be hitting 700-foot moonshots if you know that an Aroldis Chapman fastball is coming.
100%.
Like Jose Altuve knew that slider was coming in the ALCS, and Aroldis just smiled. He had no idea how someone could even think of that. I just want to give you one stat really quick.
Go ahead.
And I'm sure you guys have read this all over the place. Just give me 1 second. I got it right here. Ready? So Jose Altuve 2017 playoff stats. Are you ready?
Yes. Give it to me.
At Minute Maid Park, he had 36 at-bats. He hit 472. He had 6 home runs, 12 RBIs, and a 1541 OPS. Okay?
All right.
At other ballparks, he had 35 at-bats. He hit 143. He had 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 297 OPS. It's writing on the wall right there.
100%. And the best part about it is, right, and I made this argument I think a few weeks ago, Jack, when people make the argument about home and away splits, usually the Colorado Rockies get brought up, right? But that's literally because of Mother Nature, and those splits still aren't nearly 300 points off. I think when you float into the range of hitting 470 and 143, that difference is so large that it tells you that something was going on there. And what blows my mind is that, like, the buzzers is one thing, but, like, they were legit banging trash cans.
No, it was an obvious. They were obviously cheating.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry Rowan Gardner would get 3 hits a game if he got the trash cans.
That's 100% true.
Yes.
And Jack, that's a great point because isn't that the age-old statement, right? Numbers never lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
Well, listen, Jack, you got anything else for us on the Rome Show today?
No, that's it, man. I appreciate it.
Dude, listen, we want you to call back. That was fantastic. Anytime, Jack, you're welcome on the show.
Bring the stats.
Yeah,
Thanks, bro.
absolutely. Thank you for calling in. I mean,
Listen, he's right. Listen, there's the steroids thing is nothing compared to this.
right.
It's not even in the same ballpark. Completely different conversation, in my
Right.
opinion. And by the way, all of those players should be in the Hall of Fame except Sammy Sosa because he's actually sucked.
1 and 2, he got cheating in 2 different facets.
I mean, that guy, he literally sucked.
Sucked.
Like, he sucked. Like, Barry's average home runs, he hit 45 home runs
A
in his
year.
first 5 seasons.
Right. A year, yes.
Skinny Barry.
Yeah, in Pittsburgh.
Dude was dropping bombs his whole
Already,
career.
yes.
His whole career.
Now, let me ask you this, okay? I am of the belief that if he never took steroids, and again, Barry Bonds has never been tested positive for steroids.
Nah, he's in the A-Rod category.
Yes, he is. Although A-Rod, by his whole scandal, is just
I
openly
I
guilty.
love A-Rod.
I do too, and I love that everybody now loves A-Rod.
Yeah,
again.
that's because he's a hero, man. He's a boss.
He's dating. Did you see him at the Super Bowl, by the way?
Yeah, amazing. Selfieing in like full
During the-
360 fashion.
During the
It's unbelievable.
halftime show? Oh my God. But Barry Bonds, I'm of the belief, would have hit 500 home runs if he stayed Skinny Barry his whole career. If Skinny Barry was Skinny Barry his whole career, I believe he would have hit 500 home runs.
He did hit 500 home runs.
Yeah, dude, I know. But people believe he did it because he took steroids.
Like if he still stays
Yes.
he'd still do what he did.
Oh, my.
Oh,
all
I
right.
get it.
Sit in that chair for 10
I'm just
seconds.
saying. I mean, you were just like you were pretty aggressive on a simple point. I don't know.
Wow. this you know what this is called? This is called sports talk. It's a conversation that continues.
I'm continuing. I don't.
You
listen,
just don't
I
float
like
in and
Barry
out of
Bonds.
things.
I like Barry Bonds. I can't argue with you.
It's a fair point. Well, that was straight off the Rome for today. If you want to get on the phone lines like Jack did, 60980-72492. You can also get on the Facebook. A lot of people tuning in today. I'm going to shout out Dave Titer because I know he's going to be super stoked.
I'm pumped about Dave.
I'm pumped about Dave. You still
Yeah.
have to call him back, by the way.
I do, Dave. I owe you a call back. Called me about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I said I'll call you back in 10 minutes.
Damn, that's a long 10 minutes. You know why? It's probably because you changed the conversation so quickly.
Wow. Attacking ADD right square in the face.
Listen, that's a real thing. All right, so something you changed last week is Romalytics early.
Yes.
All right. We have the break in 4 minutes. Let me ask you this question,
Okay.
okay? Because this could go two different ways. Do you want me to hold off on the Romalytics till after the break, or would you like to get it in now?
I'd like you to get it in now.
Okay, here we go. Romalytics for February 10th, 2020, 726. I just almost went backwards on that. 726 here on the Rome Show. Your Romalytics today. I believe everyone saw the wild Duke versus UNC game over the weekend. If you didn't, you had to have seen the highlights. It was unreal. Air ball that was going air ball status at the end of the game ended up being the game-winning bucket in, I think, double overtime for Duke, who hit a buzzer-beating shot to get to overtime. Either way, fantastic game. That win was number 20 on the season for Duke, okay, which secured the 25th straight season for Coach Mike Krzyzewski, Coach K, as the people know him, with 20 wins or more, dating back to 95-96. That stat in itself is what not just a coach, but every leader is looking for that type of stat in his field when he looks back on his career. Because that is right there is the measure of consistency. And I think you could hate Duke all you want. And I think there's a lot of hatred for teams out there that are good. Because it's envy more than it's hate. You don't hate Coach K. You don't hate Duke. You hate the fact that they're good and they know it and they show it off. You don't like that. People didn't like that then. They don't whatever. Those are the reasons. You don't dislike Coach K. You don't not respect what he's done there. You just don't like it from that angle. So when you look at that number, you look at that stat, no matter how you feel about Duke University basketball, you have to take a second and respect the man, Coach Mike Krzyzewski, and what he's done for that program and what he's done over the course of his career.
Yeah, no, I think it's the New England Patriots factor. Like whether you like them or you hate them, you have to respect the fact that they've been good for a long time.
Absolutely.
And that's a process thing. That's an all-time great thing. That's a sports legacy. Like all the great teams with great legacies and great stories have those because they were so good for so long.
Right.
They just never sucked. Right, and so that's the best part. But I don't hate Duke because of all those reasons. I hate Duke because Dick Vitale loves Duke. It's the only reason I don't like Duke. Like that.
Can you explain that
My
deeper
ent-
for the
well,
Romo
because-
sapiens?
When we were a kid, like when I was a kid, right, Sports Center was at its height.
Okay.
The all-time greatness of Sports Center came in the 90s when we were kids. Like, you ask any millennial
cool
about
as the other
Sports
side of
Center
the
right
pillow.
now, it's Dan Patrick, it's Rich Eisen,
Yes.
it's Stuart Scott,
Yep.
it's Charlie Steiner, it's
Yeah.
all those guys,
Yeah.
right?
Scott Van Pelt.
Scott Van Pelt.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, Barry Melrose was still doing it. Steve Levy was there. I mean, they still had hockey on the ESPN,
Yeah.
which was great.
Yeah, now they only do it on the West Coast show.
Yeah, I know, but which is cool. I like that.
Yeah, no.
Anyways, the point I'm trying to make is Dick Vitale was also in his height
Yeah.
at that time, and for my entire life, I heard that guy yell about
The
Duke,
diaper dandy.
like with ridiculous slogans, but
The Dukies.
he's like Stephen A, who can't go a sentence without LeBron. Like Dick Vitale can't go a sentence without Duke or
It's true.
Coach K.
And isn't Dick Vitale the man that's actually graduated from Seton Hall University?
Yeah, and by the way, again, another reason for me to not like Duke.
Because he doesn't show pride in his university.
Yeah, can't stand it.
Well, I have to give the props to Coach K. 25 straight seasons, 20-plus wins. I promise you, if I look back on my coaching career and have ever been a part of a run like that, I'll be the happiest person of all time. It is The Rome Show here on HamiltonRadio.net, Channel 2, Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1. Get us at the Twitter at Wide World of Rome, on the Instagram, Wide World of Rome, or the phones, 609-807-2492, just like our man Jack did. Rube! Time to pay the bills. We will be back here on Hamilton Radio. Are you looking to become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment? Well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles. Yo, welcome back in to the Rome Show here on February 10th, 2020. It's 7:31 here at Hamilton Radio, Channel 2. You know what I was just thinking right there on that quick 30-second break that we got, Rock?
What were you thinking?
We need more sponsors.
Yes.
You know, I see a lot of these people showing up on the Facebook. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a call to the people. And Fizz just wrote in, Steven must be sleeping. It's all right, though, because Jack took his place today.
We still got a half hour.
We do. And Steve will pop in. You know what I said to him today, by the way?
Weird. Got a phone call.
Rube, is this the Steven phone call, Rube?
Oh, just kidding.
Oh.
We got teased.
You get so excited when he gets up there to write us stuff.
I mean, I see a note. It says phone call.
So
what else do you think?
So when you guys are staring directly at us, for you that are watching on Facebook.com/The Rome Show 1, Rocky and I are staring at a screen that's behind the camera. So our fantastic producer back there, Ruben, he'll drop us a line on this little notepad thing. You got a phone call. Sometimes he'll drop other things. Rocky gets super excited when Ruben starts writing on the screen and has the tendency to either A, ignore me while he's reading it, or B, just yell out what he automatically sees on it. So sometimes when Ruben pops it up, to delete words, the words say phone call.
It's like, ooh, piece of candy.
Which is a fantastic Family Guy split. How about anyone who sponsors the show, keep going, Ruben, gets to come be on the Rome Show for free. I like that idea.
Yeah, come on in.
Come on down. We'll be a guest on the Rome Show. That's exciting. All right, so you heard it from the producer, the man himself, Mr. Hamilton Radio, Ruben Rodriguez. You come on down to the Rome Show. You sponsor the show. You can sponsor Romalytics. You can sponsor Straight Off the Rome. You can actually give Rocky and I another 30 seconds to breathe in the middle of the show and just sponsor the middle of the show.
I like it.
Whatever the heck you want to sponsor it. And furthermore, we can make sure the polls happen all the time, except when I do what I did this weekend. And you can sponsor those too. A plethora of opportunities. You can email the show, theromeshow@gmail.com. Heck, you could call 609-807-2492 when the Rome Show's not on, and you could talk to Rube, all right? But we want it. Tell your friends, in the words of my podcast partner, Anthony Rinaldi. And let's keep spreading the word on this thing. And I just got this note sent also. We also do have a new Rome Show logo that we're going to be rolling out as well, which we're super, super stoked about. So I need you to stay tuned on the social media at Wide World of Rome this week to see the new logos.
It's very exciting.
I'm thinking, and we can get the Romo Sapiens opinions on this, but I want a hooded shirt, a hooded T-shirt though. I want to sell that.
All right, let's go. Let's turn on the squad locker.
What do you think about that? And then maybe like a cutoff with a hood.
Yes. It has to be black.
Like it has like the Wide World of Rome logo on the left side chest.
Yes.
Okay. And all right.
Turn
so
squad locker on.
if there's if there's anything that the people need, and Steven's actually calling my cell phone right now. So anything that the people think they want with the new Rome Show logo, you're going to stay tuned to the Instagram this week, the Twitter this week. You're going to see the new logo. You're going to love it. And then you can give us your recommendations for what do you want us to buy. All right, Rock, let's move forward here on the Rome Show. 609-807-2492 if you want to get in on the conversation. I promised you a hockey segment.
Let's go.
Okay? And I wanted to do it. That's why I asked you about the Romalytics. Because I know
This is why I said get it in there.
I knew it. I knew you knew what I was talking about. So I'm going to put the floor on you because I know you gave me some ideas of what you want to talk about, one being Alexander Ovechkin.
Yes.
But I know
Yes.
there's a few things on your mind.
No, it's a great time to talk about hockey. Couple cool things going on in the NHL right now. First and foremost, trade deadline rapidly approaching. So
Yes.
you're going to see teams who believe they can make a run at the Stanley Cup go pick up a couple free agents as rentals or as long-term guys. And you're going to see some teams that are not going to be in the playoffs sell off a bunch of big pieces. So we will see what that looks like for a lot of teams. We've got Alexander Ovechkin, who is 2 goals away from joining 7 other individuals in the 700 goal club.
That's mind-blowing.
Which is absolutely absurd. Wayne Gretzky, by the way, is in the lead at 894 goals all time, which is great. And this is the one person who everyone believes could catch up to Wayne Gretzky.
Okay.
Which is awesome. So that's a big story. And then the third story happening in hockey right now is that the USA women played. They play a 5-game series every year versus Team Canada. These are the 2 best women's hockey teams in the world.
They also played at the All-Star game.
They did. So they played in Anaheim at the Honda Center this past weekend and broke a women's attendance record with 13,320 fans at their game.
Wow.
Yeah, which is really cool.
That is crazy.
Yes.
So now, do you believe that that's an immediate representation of what the growth of women's hockey could be moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, listen, you set a record. Now it's time that means you're growing. Every time you set a record, it means you're getting better. You got more attendance. You got more people interested. So you just probably ultimately have more girls playing hockey.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think something like the All-Star game also helps that?
Yeah, the All-Star game was a great showcase for it.
Rock, read the screen.
We have a phone call.
And it's real.
Outstanding.
Ruben, go ahead. Caller, you're on the Rome Show. Give us your name and what are you calling about?
Roma, good to hear from you.
Oh, there he is.
You called him out.
You called me on the cell phone first because we had some technical difficulties. Then you said, you know what? My inner smartness is going off. I'm going to call back again, and now you're on the show.
I know. I was a little worried there for a second.
Yeah, well, we were worried about you. I'm not going to lie. You know, we saw there was 29 minutes left in the show, but we were super excited for the phone call.
I'm excited too.
Ruben. Steve, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, I was hearing your segment about the hockey situation. You know, definitely called at the right time, I think.
What are you a Flyers fan?
No, please no.
Of course.
What do you think of the Flyers squadron right now?
Losing to the Devils the other night.
Good. I mean, it's a long hockey season. You're going to win some, you're going to lose some.
You think they're good? Do you think they're going to make the playoffs?
I mean,
this is why Philadelphia hockey fans it's an embarrassment. Philadelphia hockey fans are embarrassing. You had one good run in the 70s, and now you suck.
And your mascot
You're
stinks,
brutal.
too.
Your mascot's awful. You go you make a play for Philly like it is a city on a hill, the Golden City, the city of God, the city of angels, Philadelphia during football season, and it comes to hockey, and you guys could give absolutely two. They just don't care about hockey.
And you got mad at me for getting on you before.
Yeah. Steve,
well,
you're telling me you win some.
They actually sell out. They sell out every game. Just a heads up.
Yeah, I get it, but like every time I talk to someone, like they don't even care. Like my buddy has season tickets. He never talks about it. If he had season tickets to the Eagles, he wouldn't shut up about it.
Well, it's because the Flyers are historically better than the Eagles, so everyone's kind of a little bit more laid back. Like,
I mean, they've
Yeah,
won more
remember, too.
championships.
How many championships do the Flyers have?
Maybe one.
historically, the Flyers have been better than the Eagles for a while.
But then why don't you pay them any mind?
Well, I can't get any of their games up here because I live in North Jersey.
Fair point. It's a fair point by Steven.
Not
I'm the
when-
arbitrator here.
Not when you answer, you win some, you lose some.
I didn't say you win some, you lose some.
Steve, are you all right now? Rock, I want to let you know, and I'm going to let Steve defend himself, okay? We had made plans for Steve to drive with me down to the show and be live tonight,
Oh, that would have been great.
but he told us he was too tired.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a long morning.
Well, Steve, you're on the
Long
show
morning.
now. What do you want? What do you got for Rock in his hockey segment before we go forward? Because we were going to talk about how Ovechkin, we don't know if he can catch Wayne Gretzky or not. He's like some 200-something goals away. But I think, and I told this to Rocky, I think he can catch him, and I think Ovechkin's the type of guy that would be able to do it.
Can I also just acknowledge that the Devils are 17 points behind the Flyers right now, and there's only a game difference?
That's what I'm
so-
talking about. That's what I'm talking about, Steve. That's the fan I want to hear in you. I love it.
Let's just start off with that because I'm getting chirped for being a Flyers fan when the Devils are. Yeah.
Steve, what do you have next
let's just
Monday?
start off. What was that?
What do you have next Monday?
I don't know.
All right, well, here's the deal. I want to come. I want
6
you to.
a.m. Probably 6 a.m. film again, most likely.
I want you to come and co-host with Rocky, and I want to sit in the crowd, just watch you two go at it, because this is fantastic.
Knowing your luck, Romo, you're going to set this up, and me and him are going to have the same ideal for.
Yeah. I'm going to
Entire
set it up,
day.
and you're going to be like, I agree with you,
Yeah,
man.
you're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, and Rube is writing on the screen. If you pay $20, you can come do it. So it's just a clean 20. It's just a light donation, and then you're on the show.
Do I got to give him like the full handshake slide to the 20, or like are we just straight up just giving him $20? What are we talking here?
We dap up slide the 20s here.
All right, that's all you need to know.
All right,
You need to
Steve.
get in the right mindset for that.
Steve, you have anything else for us tonight?
No, I mean the Ovechkin thing. I think it's possible, but you also got to see he's also been. Got to remember he's been in the league since he was 18 years old. So, getting up there in age is a little tough. And also,
Do you think
I don't know.
Ovechkin has 3 years left in him?
I think he does if they lower his ice time per night. Like if they start giving these younger guys more runs than him, or put him with these younger, faster guys so that he has less. He has less
he's
stuff
like
on
one of
him.
the fastest guys on the ice.
But-
You think you're going to slow this guy down? I don't think so. I think he's going to do it. I think he's got 196 goals remaining to catch Wayne Gretzky. The NHL season's 82 games. He's been averaging at least a point and a half, 2 points per game for his entire career. I mean, he's scored over 50 goals. So if he goes 50-50-50, it's another 150. All he has to do is one big year with 80 or 2 years with 60. I mean, he's not that far away, right? It's 4 seasons probably for Ovechkin to get him. Does he have 4 seasons left?
I mean, if you look at him physically right now, yes, he definitely is 4 seasons.
Thank you. I agree with that, Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
He definitely can play 4 seasons now. The question is, does he want to?
Absolutely.
The guy's never gonna have to. The guy's an icon in Washington D.C. now. Dude's never gonna have to pay for a beer again in town. So, maybe he's finally come over his hangover from winning the Stanley Cup. But
You gotta
Well,
look out. These guys,
you know.
these guys are good. They're good too. They have the ability to make another run at the cup.
yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, historically, you see they do well, but then there's some. I mean, recently they've done well, but in the past they've always had good teams and they make to the playoffs, and then something comes around. The Flyers usually stick around, maybe hurt some people's chances. You never know.
This is all like when we talk about like a Tom Brady's career, where he's able to play until he's 43, 44. Like I said to Rocky before the show, like I feel like Alexander Ovechkin has a lot of Jaromir Jagr in him. Like he's gonna have like 4 or 5 more years, I think, to play. Like his body doesn't look like it's breaking down. He doesn't look like he's breaking down. And I feel like hockey's the type of sport that like those players kind of exist in a weird way, even though it's a physical sport, which you wouldn't expect players to be able to play in their high 30s, maybe some into their 40s. But I think some of that's a mindset too, but that's why I think Ovechkin could come close to breaking this streak. My question becomes, how many goals per year over the next 5, let's say, would it take him to tie Wayne Gretzky?
50.
What'd you say? He's got to get what?
50 goals
200,
a year.
I think it is, or
next 5?
190.
What's 5 times 5? 25.
Yeah.
That'd be
25.
250. No, it's actually 40. If he played for 5 years, he'd only need 40 a year.
Okay. I think that's feasible for next 2.
I think that's feasible for the rest of his career.
Really?
No, it's not. It's not. You're right.
So
It's
why
2
would you
years.
say that?
Well, because he's that good. I mean, think about it. You have to understand. Wayne Gretzky came into the league in 1979.
And he played till like 2002.
And he played till 2000. Yeah, he did. He played 20. It was like 22 seasons. Like the guy literally took hockey into the modern era.
Yes.
Right? He was so
Yes.
good that he set the pace for the guys now. So for that,
You also got to remember. Oh, sorry.
No, go.
You also got to remember too. Back when Gretzky played, it was a complete different game. You had 2 guys on his line who their main goal was, or you'd always have at least one guy on line who their main goal was to not let any of their tough players go anywhere near him. And if anyone tried to touch them, they would beat the crap out of them and kick them both out of the game. So there wasn't anything to worry about.
Yeah, but that's the point. That's why it's so significant. That's why if he's any type of competitor, which he's proven he is, right? You had Wayne Gretzky literally take the game into the modern era. Like he transcended hockey in a way that we had never seen before, and that is what these guys. That's the game they play in today. So if Ovechkin breaks the record, he then set the pace for this generation of hockey
Oh my
players.
God, this is so feasible. He's only 34 years old.
I know.
Each of the
He's
last
gonna do it.
6 of the last 7 years, he's finished with 40 or more goals, and in 5 of those 7 years, he finished with 49 or more, and in 4 of those 7 years, finished with 50 or
I'm
more.
telling you, Ovechkin becomes the icon that took the game from the
Wayne
Gretzky
Gretzky.
era to this. Like, that's 3 generations now.
Is this Michael Jordan to LeBron James?
Absolutely not.
Really?
No, it's hockey, dude. You have to be. You get all around points here.
I don't get what that means.
That means it's not basketball where you could suck at defense your whole life and be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's fair. I understand
It means
that.
it means that. It means
But
that
we're talking about
Crosby's-
his
It means that
offense.
Crosby's always going to get a little bit more. I think, less on the goal scoring.
Wow, really? So
Crosby's
you
got
don't
more
think,
rings.
so you think that if Alexander Ovechkin
Crosby has more rings.
passes Wayne Gretzky,
Yes, he will be known as the greatest goal scorer of all time. But
the great one will stay the great one because he had so many assists. I mean, he was
So-
a great all around. He was.
so Crosby and Ovechkin came in at the same year.
Yes.
And it was Crosby who was set to be the person.
Who was taking over for Wayne Gretzky?
Wi-
Right.
That's right. Right. Or Lemieux, even Lemieux. I mean, but in the end, it's going to be Ovechkin with the points that match Gretzky.
Yes, but the overall hockey player would be Crosby. However, I think those concussions may have derailed him a hair
He missed the
from
full
getting to
season.
that pinnacle.
He missed a full season.
Because I don't think he plays for 20 years. I think he played because I think with what we know now about head injuries, as he gets older in his life and he's already accomplished so much, I don't think he's going to look to say, I need to be anything more than what I was in my career, which is potentially, in my opinion, and I think you'd agree, a top 3, top 5 player of all time.
What's Crosby's assists?
All right, I'll check it out.
What's Crosby's assists? But yes, I don't think.
Ovechkin's got 570. I mean, he does not.
If you think Ovechkin's going to retire before he hits 900, I think you're crazy.
Oh, Steven's here.
I know.
All right, Steven, what do you got? Anything else?
Not that I can think of, Irma.
All right. Well, listen, as always, we appreciate your spot here on the Rome Show.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you for everything, guys.
All right, dude. All right, you want Crosby's assist?
I want Crosby's assists.
Okay.
Or total points. I'd like to see their total points comparison, actually. But just so everyone knows, a couple people in the top 8 now in the NHL. So you have Wayne Gretzky in number 1 at 894. The next closest is another hockey great, Gordie Howe, 801. It seems like when you some of these records are still in the old days, which is really cool about hockey, I think. Like,
Sure.
Gordie Howe played in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And he
you
still
got-
holds the record.
That's right. You got Jaromir Jagr in third at 766, Brett Hull at 741, Marcel Dion,
Who the hell
which is
that?
just an incredible French hockey
That's a
name.
great French hockey
It's a
name.
French hockey name that is just awesome. 731, Phil Esposito 717, and Mike Gardner at 708.
Wow. So you're right. There is not many guys in the most recent era that have come close to doing any of that.
No, and that's why you're going to give Ovechkin so much credit for being that good of an offensive talent.
Right.
You know, and that's why he'll be able to contend as the person. I don't think no one's ever going to beat Gretzky.
All right. So I got the stats. So Ovechkin has played in nearly 200 more games than Crosby. He's played in 1138, and Crosby's played 969. Okay, it's both in 15 years. Crosby's got 456 goals to Ovechkin's 698. Crosby has 790 assists to Ovechkin's 570. Crosby's got 246 points,
No, that's impossible.
1,246 points to Ovechkin's 1,268 points.
Yeah, there you go. So Crosby has about
depends on which-
200 more points. Ovechkin has 200 more goals.
Crosby has Ovechkin has 22 more points. Ovechkin has more points.
No, I know, but like Ovechkin has 200 more goals.
Yes.
But Crosby has 200 more assists.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the type of hockey player you're talking about.
But
there.
that's what I'm saying.
and 200 less games for Crosby.
So who goes down as a better hockey player all time?
Well, I think we still have a lot to write in this script.
Because I
So-
think this is closer to Michael LeBron than
Then actually Gretzky is.
because no
but they're
one
in the
it's
same era though.
Yeah, but it's impossible to touch Gretzky because no one will ever be able to change the game as much as he did at that time. You can't like the
That's
leap
fair.
from now till the next isn't big enough because his stats are still relevant.
Yes, that's true. But so are Michael Jordan's.
Nah, yeah, but again, you're talking Michael LeBron, and we're saying Michael LeBron is Crosby, Ovechkin. No one's gonna touch Gretzky.
Oh yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Gretzky, comparative to all four major sports, is in a different category than most. I don't think you can look at baseball. People look at Babe Ruth, but there are still a lot of people that will argue the fact that Babe Ruth wasn't the greatest baseball player of all time, right? In football, it could go a myriad of different ways depending on who you're talking about, right?
Yes.
In basketball, people talk about Michael Jordan, but because LeBron James, because of Kobe Bryant, because of other great players, people will make arguments for others. When you flip the page to hockey, it's Wayne Gretzky, then it's everybody else. And there is not one hockey person you've ever met in your entire life, ever. The experts, you, some kid that's 12, right now, that doesn't believe that Wayne Gretzky's not the greatest player of all time.
No. I
The
mean,
dude is nicknamed the Great One.
the argument is who's in second.
Right, and I think
And
this
that's-
is what
and
you're
that's
playing
where
out.
your second place argument is more comparable to what you talk about in
Happens
basketball. No doubt.
Well, but doesn't Kobe Bryant play an interesting role in the basketball argument because he was kind of the bridge between the two? See, like Kobe Bryant plays the Ovechkin Crosby role in the basketball argument to me.
Yes.
Because this is relevant now because
Yeah,
they're
'cause he's
playing.
second.
And Kobe played with both Michael and played with LeBron.
Yeah.
Because he played his 20 years in the league.
The biggest difference, like we said already, is the necessity for being really, really good at setting up goals.
Yes.
Just as much as scoring them.
Right. And and I think this is interesting to look at. Crosby's plus minus is 178 over the course of his career only 2 times. And one of those times is currently right now in the 2019-2020 season. Has he ever finished the year in a minus, right? Ovechkin, on the other hand, has 4 times finished his year in a minus category. He's still plus for his career at 86, but that 100
when you
plus
score
minus
that many,
right.
You score that many, you have to be plus.
It comes to the goals, right? But at the end of the day, that 100 plus minus is probably the difference between Alexander Ovechkin maybe being a champion twice,
No doubt.
and not.
No, absolutely. I mean, you literally had a story in the playoffs about how Ovechkin was playing defense.
Yes, 100%.
Like, hey, great job to play. Like,
Thank
no,
you for
that's-
doing your other job. in
No,
this.
see, and that's why Crosby always has that aura because Crosby. This is the first class, and the best way I can articulate that is in an All-Star game about 3 years ago. I was watching. It was one of the first years they did 3-on-3, and the
Great concept.
and the Eastern Conference had lost the first game, and there was a camera in the locker room, and Crosby was packing up his bag, and as he was walking out of the locker room, before he left, he went and shook every single guy's hand, looked him in the eye, and said, "Good luck for the rest of the season," like blah blah blah.
Wow.
And I think, and I don't know if Ovechkin does that stuff.
See, but I think he does.
He
I'm
might.
an
He
Ovechkin
might.
supporter.
No, listen. I when they first came in, I liked Ovechkin more.
Yes.
Now I don't.
I just respect Crosby more than I think I ever have in
Yeah.
my lifetime. And again, I come back to the injuries. Like, hockey is a tough sport to come back from. And to come back from the head injuries, to come back from all the things that he's dealt with, I think it is interesting and it's going to be fun. I do believe when it's all said and done, Ovechkin's numbers overall comparative to the fan is going to be where they lie in terms of the two, but that's because of the injuries. I think that's because you see Ovechkin play a few more years, then you might Crosby based on what we know about head injuries now.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's nice.
There's your hockey segment.
I loved it. I appreciate it.
609-807-2492. Got about 3 minutes left on the show. I like the hockey segment.
I've really enjoyed the hockey segment. Thank you.
So what I thought moving forward was, well, one, we could always keep the hockey going on, obviously. But two,
I'm gonna find a way to mix it in no matter what.
because pitchers and catchers report this week, okay, I would like each Monday for us to break down a segment of the MLB.
Let's do
Our
it.
feelings on whether it's a division, maybe it's the entire National League versus the entire AL, maybe way too early predictions of Cy Young awards, maybe do some cool stuff like that.
I'm in.
So this last 3 minutes here, I would like you to let me know which of the divisions you would like to start with on Monday so we can prepare the Romo Sapiens. Hey, because it's a big week. We're rolling out a new logo, which is super exciting.
Very exciting.
All right. We're not going to forget the polls, which is super exciting.
Yes.
Okay. And we're going to start breaking down the MLB, which just fires me up.
Listen, I think it's important
If you say
that
the NL East.
anytime you start something, you have to start strong. So why wouldn't we start with the NL East?
Fine. We can start with that.
By the way, if the Mets are good,
Right.
you will have a classic 1990s NL East.
With
The Phillies will be
Braves
good.
are good.
The Braves will be good, and the Mets will be good, and then you'll have the Nationals poking around.
What, the Nationals are going to be good again.
Exactly. The team. I'm just saying the division's gonna be good.
Yeah, and the Marlins are one of those teams that you just don't want to play.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the NL East isn't gonna be like the NFC East this year, where everyone kind of forced that they were gonna be good, but everyone knew they were gonna
They
suck.
were not going to be good.
Right. This is a possibility where every team could be good except the Marlins, which is just par for the course.
Yes, but that's a great thought though on the 1990s comparison of the NL
I mean,
East.
now I don't want it to be the 90s because the Braves are gonna win the division.
Yeah, well, but then they won't win the World Series.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. But neither will we. So.
Well, that's nothing new,
Yeah.
right? Well, all right, fine. We'll start with the NL East.
Let's do it.
That's fine with me. We'll break down the NL East next week. That was one of the quickest hours I've ever been a part of. I really appreciate all the people that tuned in. When we're looking on the Facebook while we're on the show, all the little green bubbles pop up for all the different people. And I got to say, it's super cool between people that we've known for 20 years, people we went to high school with, people that are siblings of people we went to high school with, people that are friends with us now, people that I've coached, people's
from
moms
work.
Yeah. It's cool. It's super cool. So we appreciate the support on the Rome Show. Share it. Follow us on social media. An awesome human being, which we will release with the logo as well, created us probably one of the coolest logos I've seen in a long time. We'll release that this week. Break down the NL East next week. We'll be back on the Rome Show February 17th. Until then, hey, let's wish Mom a happy birthday.
Happy
Because
birthday,
it's her birthday
Mom.
on Saturday. Jamie Quinn, happy birthday. It's your birthday today. Andrew Romanella, Rocky Romanella, The Rome Show. We're out.
To become a better leader, whether that's in business, in sports, or in life, and you haven't found a book yet to help you get to that game-changing aha moment, well, we have the book for you. Tighten the Lug Nuts, The Principles of Balanced Leadership. Tighten the Lug Nuts will help you get to that game-changing leadership moment. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and iBooks, or at 360managementservices.com. That's the number 360managementservices.com. Pick up your copy today and start changing your leadership styles.
Do this look like work to you? Nah, looking at the lights like it's all of this for me. Everyone tonight is here, all of this for me. Hands in the air, yeah, all of this for me. Bottles over here, all of this for me. All of this for me.